Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Clarkspective.
Upgraded to a flagrant 2.
In addition to stopping a basketball game, the most explosive event of the WNBA season totally destroyed the professional league's institutional credibility. A targeted physical attack and an unprecedented digital warfare campaign broke out on the court between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky. A violent altercation quickly turned into coaching betrayals and serious officiating turmoil, leaving spectators and commentators in full shock. As two passionate rivals engaged in a struggle for supremacy, the oppressive tension in the stadium reached a boiling point. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 85% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So, did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now, back to the video.
DJ Carrington went to the locker room and tweeted, "White privilege when you assaulted a player. Sophie didn't touch you. How is this a race issue?" Make it make sense. Because I am definitely confused here, guys. I mean, I am hella confused. How is this a race issue, bro? And then not only that, Sophie Cunningham speaks on the matter. So immediately after the game,
the Indiana Fever tried to establish physical dominance against their adversaries early in the first quarter of this crucial match. On a fast break layup opportunity, Sophie Cunningham sprinted down the floor after securing the ball in transition. Throughout the season, Cunningham had solidified her position as her team's unquestionable enforcer and physical defender. Chicago Sky guard John Carrington was immediately behind her on the quick break, closing the distance with scary speed and terrible determination.
Yeah, so she said they gave us the same explanation. And when you mix that in with what the referee said even transpired in the first place once again.
Yeah, she intentionally seeked out the official.
She intentionally, Caitlin Clark intentionally seeked out an official and used
you were backwards to them. Did you even know they were there in that moment?
And through the forearm.
And through a forearm. So Caitlin intentionally, that's a wild accusation, by the way, not accidentally, intentionally ran in and seeked out an official and threw a forearm when you can clearly see in real time that Caitlin Clark was literally hip bumped by Natasha Howard while she was mobile. You guys know when you're running, you are in a vulnerable position. Any slight push or anything can really exaggerate your trajectory and where you're headed.
So clearly was a foul. It was not called.
How is that a forearm extension? Can somebody please let me know? How is this a forearm extension?
So clearly was
How is this a forearm extension? Is this a forearm extension to you guys? If anything, that's a backhand extension. But this referee wouldn't know that. I'm telling you, man, this target on CeCe's back is clear as day. But anyways, Caitlin Clark already knew what was going on. As I said, she was a little too confident right here. President Clark, somebody must have told her something. This was my reaction to it. I'm on the bottom right. If you
struck Cunningham's head and neck with a horrific full power blow as he rose toward the basket to complete the play. Even as Cunningham's layup fell through the net, the tremendous collision violently pushed her out of midair and slammed her hard against the hardwood court. At this precise time, conventional athletic play devolved into perilous anarchy. Everyone present was stunned by the impact's intensity, and the arena as a whole froze in shock.
I hope she's done at the end of this season. I can't believe, I don't care if DJ Carrington played for you in the past. Sophie Cunningham, Caitlin Clark, they are in your locker room right now, and you are defending DJ Carrington. We're going to compare what you had to say, Stephanie White, to the fans, what they had to say about DJ Carrington calling this white privilege. Nasty work, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit the bell notification, like the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. We got to get into it, man. Stephanie Dingbat White, bonehead. The lady has no idea what she's doing. She's in over her head. She's way over her head when it comes to this job. She needs to go back to being head coaches of teams that nobody really gives a damn about. And it's that simple. Take a listen to Stephanie White defending DiJonai Carrington. This is disgusting. If I'm Sophie Cunningham, I'm pissed. My mouth was bleeding. She tried to take my head off, and you at the podium talking about, oh, you don't think it was on purpose. What?
And also there was, for Seth, there was Sophie's flagrant foul from DiJonai. Just what was your reaction to that? Just your thoughts on what happened?
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a hard foul. I don't think that DiJonai intentionally came out to get her across the neck.
What are you talking about? What are you just have your team's back, bruh. When do you have your team's back, Stephanie?
Cunningham instantly emerged from the hardwood court in an obvious state of rage, refusing to play the victim. Before players and officials hurriedly interfered, she charged straight at Carrington and gave him a forceful shove. To avoid a full-fledged bench-clearing altercation on live national television, teammates frantically held both sportsmen back. As refereeing crews struggled to keep control of the tense scenario, the atmosphere in the arena became aggressive.
At all. She was ejected from the game. It was a flagrant 2. The refs got it right. Don't worry. They'd fuck that up later. I mean, I can't give them credit. How about this, folks? This is me, yours truly. Follow me on the Twitter, @Rhodes How about this, folks? Quote, white privilege with your blonde hair. Yeah. Culturally appropriating Sophie Cunningham's hair? Oh, that's a bad look. I'm just pointing that out. Now, I tagged the WNBA in this at WNBA. This feels like a threat against the Indiana Fever. DiJonai tweets out 8:23 with a smile. Now, again, that's the next time they play, folks. What you gonna do on 8:23? What's going down 8:23 at Kathy Engelbert? At W? You got your ears on? That sounds a whole lot like its own site. Its own site. Hey, Travis, blatant racism on the foul in the tweet. She should be thrown out of the league for the rest of the year. But it's the WNBA, so she would probably get a 5-year contract extension. Yeah. The league just tweeted out.
In order to examine the replay footage from every possible camera angle, the game officials hurried to the court monitor. Referees found clear wind-up, tremendous force, and reckless follow-through high across the neck, leaving no space for discussion due to the slow-motion video breakdown. Carrington was immediately ejected from the arena when the officiating officials formally elevated the call to a flagrant foul penalty. They led Carrington to the dressing room. Just minutes after arriving at the locker room, Carrington exacerbated the situation into full-scale internet warfare rather than defusing the heated stadium atmosphere. She took out her cell phone, disregarded standard league regulations, and publicly tagged the Indiana Fever in an angry social media post accusing white privilege. This daring action thrust a very private athletic dispute into the public eye. An in-court egregious foul was turned into a global media frenzy by the rapid web publishing. Cunningham skillfully managed the narrative and refuted any assertion that the hit was a typical basketball play during the post-game media availability. She made it clear that she thought Carrington's foul was entirely needless and deliberate. Despite having no personal connection to Carrington, Cunningham expressed her suspicion that her opponent was holding onto resentment. She made it clear that she would never back down from an attack on the court. A startling turn of events occurred at the press platform just as the Indiana Fever organization was supposed to unite and vehemently support their seasoned enforcer. Stephanie White, the head coach of the Fever, shocked her locker room and supporters with a post-game statement. Coach White suddenly supported the rival players' motives while standing in front of reporters. Her remarks totally downplayed the seriousness of the brutal blow her own player had just received. Although Coach White acknowledged that it was a hard foul, she shockingly stated that she did not think Carrington deliberately struck Cunningham across the neck. The head coach maintained that the touch was unintentional. This unexpected position actively diminished the hazardous purpose of a strike that carried a significant potential for serious injury, even albeit it agreed with the official flagrant 2 ejection call. The head coach publicly condoned the physical brutality of opponent, leaving players and fans in disbelief. Fans of the team were immediately outraged by the internal optics of Coach White's press conference. Analysts questioned how a head coach could fail to denounce the opponent's behavior while witnessing her own player get clotheslined on a fast break. Supporters, who demanded complete allegiance for their injured enforcer, became extremely irate with the seeming lack of support. An already raging organizational disaster was made worse by Coach White's divisive remarks. During his post-game appearance, Chicago Sky head coach Tyler Marsh made an effort to entirely avoid the escalating dispute. He insisted that Carrington was just making a valid play on the ball and said he had not seen a replay of the hit. Marsh said he was only learning about Carrington's nasty social media post and would take care of it internally when questioned about it. As public scrutiny grew and the conflict between Cunningham and Carrington dominated headlines, his evasive responses left important concerns unresolved. The physical conditions on the floor were totally out of the game officials' control. Superstar Caitlin Clark was dragged into the commotion by referees as the Fever battled to hold on to a slim lead in the third quarter. Both teammates and onlookers were taken aback when Clark was given an entirely false technical foul. The phantom call exposed an officiating team that was collapsing quickly under extreme strain. The contentious technical foul happened when rival player Natasha Howard violently hip-bumped Clark out of bounds while he was going quickly. Clark was knocked off balance by the physical shove and ended up standing close to the sidelines. Replays made it abundantly evident that the impact was wholly unintentional and the result of the uncalled defensive bump's momentum. The referee penalized Clark for deliberate contact with an official in spite of unmistakable video evidence. For the Indiana Fever and their top player, this unjust penalty had disastrous consequences. Clark received his 8th technical whistle of the regular season for the technical foul. 8 technical fouls automatically result in a mandatory one-time suspension under league standards. The premier attraction in women's basketball was in danger of missing her team's next game due to the abrupt verdict. All of a sudden, the league was dealing with an unparalleled public relations nightmare and a huge commercial disaster. The suspension of the biggest figure in the sport due to a blatant officiating error threatened to erode fan confidence in league management. As TV replays repeatedly demonstrated Clark's total innocence, outraged viewers demanded prompt front office involvement. Indiana's hard-won triumph was in danger of being overshadowed by the officiating error. During her post-game TV interview, Caitlin Clark displayed amazing poise and calm. She gently clarified that the referee had falsely accused her of intentionally running into her on the sidelines. Clark said she was sure the league office would accurately assess the case because she had already looked over the tape breakdown. She made it very evident that no words were spoken throughout the play and that contact was unintentional. The league front office acted quickly to make amends after realizing the severe consequences of an unwarranted ban. After closely examining all of the broadcast footage that was accessible, officials verified that Clark was driven into the referee by momentum. Clark was spared an unjust mandatory penalty as the league formally rescinded her 9th technical foul within hours. The superstar was spared by the quick turnaround, but the game authorities' confidence was severely undermined. Although Clark was not suspended, the disorganized refereeing during the game revealed more serious structural problems with league officiating. The refereeing staff was criticized by fans and media figures for using phantom whistles to target top players and failing to control physical play. On the one hand, uncontrolled aggression was made possible by the incapacity to uphold order, while on the other, inadvertent contact was punished. During the high-stakes season, there were an increasing number of concerns, including the officiating breakdown. Rivalries around the league were intensified and team relationships were forever changed as a result of this dramatic match. Rival teams' latent enmity was revealed by Carrington's reckless foul and the internet attack that followed. Amidst coaching errors and inept refereeing, Cunningham's tenacity and Clark's composed leadership under pressure stood out. Future encounters between these teams would undoubtedly be spectacular due to the wounds from this intense game. This conflict exposed covert rivalries, media warfare, and organizational dysfunction, offering a masterclass in professional sports drama. While Caitlin Clark endured targeted officiating to win, Sophie Cunningham held her ground, suffered a serious hit, and dispelled myths. Modern basketball is an ultimate war where every hit, tweet, and whistle bears enormous ramifications, as demonstrated by the high volatility atmosphere. As this turbulent season progresses, everyone in the sports world is still on notice.